restoration of buildings has always been a dream of Riwaq. Because when Riwaq started, we didn't know anything. Not just we didn't know how many buildings there were in Palestine or where were they, we also didn't know how to restore them. Because the building knowledge was lost.
And we are young architects. We never planned our future. We never planned our cities. And suddenly we could plan our historic centers. And with the historic centers comes something else, which is the memory. So you are working in historic centers with this intense memory, and you do planning for future. This helps the architects in Riwaq and helps people see the possibilities.
It all started with my childhood. I grew up in Jordan because in 1948 we became refugees like 90% of the population then. My father was always talking about his house in Jaffa. And as a child, I had to sort of construct Palestine, build models for our house, build images of whatever my father told me as a kid. My father always talked about the 420 villages that the Israelis destroyed. And that number was magic for me. When I came to the first time in my life to Palestine in '81 to teach at Birzeit University, I was intrigued that the number of villages were 420 villages that exist now in West Bank and Gaza. So I have a mission of protecting the remaining 50% of what has been destroyed.
And it was a survey done by students. So you would get a sheet for each house. You would go and register the house and take information and make interviews regarding each house. In Palestine, we have a deficit in housing, but there are almost 10,000 housing units of historic buildings that are empty.
You see, the problem up till now, I think, in people's mind, a historic building reminds them of poverty, of darkness, of dampness, and this is what we want to change. Palestine, on the one hand, is very poor, but we insist on having a normal life. And we also have a community that lives in America and sends a lot of money. Because of the Israeli occupation, there aren't factories, farming is difficult. At the end of the day, everybody puts their money in real estate, and we believe it's the only real estate under the circumstances. For example, the land in Ramallah, also in Gaza, the prices of the land is equivalent to that of New York.
With the urban expansion happening now in towns and in villages too, we're losing public spaces, we're losing open spaces, we're losing spaces that are accessible to everyone to go to.
We need a public space because this is the place for community to meet and to negotiate and to make a dialogue and to intervene in their future.
أهلا وسهلا فيكم جميعا في رواق في افتتاح فعاليات بينالي رواق الرابع.
بينالي رواق كان دائما مختلف عن كل البياناليات بالعالم لأنه بينالي رواق مش مرتبط في مدينة واحدة ومش مرتبط بالفن بشكل خاص.
أنا كثير انبسطت بالبينال السنة إنه كان الافتتاح بقلنديا، بقرية قلنديا، لأنه قرية قلنديا يعني أول مرة إنه بحس إنه قديش إحنا بنعرفش المحل اللي إحنا عايشين فيه، رغم إنه قلنديا كاسم هالقد يعني حاضر كل يوم بحياتنا، بس فكرة إنه هو في قرية حية وفيها ناس وسكان موجودين وعايشين بالبلد وموجودين في محل جنب الحاجز، بس احنا ما بنقدر نشوفه لأننا بنروح على منطقة الحاجز ونطلع برا. فبفكر إنه هو كان في إشي زي هيك ريفيلينج، يعني في إشي عم بكشف إشي.
In 2001, unemployment rates were very high in Palestine. And that's why funders were putting money in job creation projects. And for us, building restoration is a quintessential job creation project.
وكيف اندليت على الشغل مع رواق؟
في أبو محمد بكى المقاول الأول، فكان صديق والدي. اشتغلت مع والدي يومين فعجبوا الشغل معه واشتغلت كملت معه. مهم بالفعل مهم إنه في أشياء قديمة تتجدد، تراثنا بضل.
I think that's where Riwaq made its major contribution, is to connect cultural heritage with job creation.
We create not only a joyful place to play, but a joyful place to produce and make money. Those people who never been able to make a good plaster or pointing on a nice door, now they know how to do it and they sell their labor and they say like we are expert in restoration. And they make money, they make bread. Our recent practices are not sustainable. And through restoration, we could see another alternative. We use environmental material. We use organic material. We use locally produced material.
The minute we saw that through cultural heritage, the money we spend on a building, 90% of it goes really to the community, meaning that the people get work, they get a space, a nice space. People have to benefit from the cultural heritage. First time we tried to go into a village to convince people that we're going to renovate their buildings. The most difficult part was there was a donkey. For us, it was like, this is all very dirty and very, not chic, and we have to get the donkey out. Negotiations of getting the donkey out of the lower part of the house made me reconsider what is it that we're doing. Really, we have to listen to the people carefully and see what their needs are, and not project our values into their needs.
And people know us. Those people say thank you, and this is an amazing moment. When somebody says thank you and you feel proud, you didn't spoil the moment, you didn't spoil the resources.
زينوا الحرق، تغيرت علينا وأنورت وصلحوا إشي كثير يعني وعمروها حوالينا. واللي بيجي يعني مبسوط في حارتنا إنه شو صار فيها وصار عمارة، صار إنه فيها أكثر يعني ما.
We know now that restoration is not about houses, stones, and so on. What we are doing now is trying to create the proper infrastructure for social change. Whatever we do, like cleaning a facade, making a door or pavement, or planting a tree, or inviting people to a cultural activity, we claim like the space is important for change. We went all the way in colonization in Palestine. We are still colonized, I can make this claim. But I claim also, like other theoreticians, that colonization does not take place in territory. It takes place here. If you are free here, nobody can colonize you. And for us, because we are architects and working in built environment, We claim also space could be a medium and could be a tool to change things.
After working on single buildings, we discovered it's not enough. So in order to save more buildings and have a larger impact, it was, okay, we need to work on a larger scale. We need to save towns as a whole. Birzeit was our pilot project. And in Birzeit, at the beginning, we did a lot of research. It's the place where we tested everything. That's where we learned a lot. I actually like to think of Riwaq as a catalyst. We go in, we work with the community, we put the infrastructure, we fix the buildings using traditional techniques. And in some communities like Birzeit, we work with the municipalities, and we tried every angle you could think of to engage with the community.
And one of the projects we did is also this building, and it's called Hosh Al Aliyya. We renovated that together with the municipality, and the municipality decided to rent it out to be used as a restaurant. And so that encouraged other people also to start opening a small cafe, a falafel shop. So business owners started thinking about also investing in the historic center.
We don't want to neither gentrify these historic centers nor make them museums. We want the people who live there to help them in such a way that they can make use, their children can make use of the historic centers.
In the summer, there's this cultural heritage festival. You come for a week and there are shops and kiosks and there's music and it's really beautiful.
And I was laughing and smiling and tearing in the same point. Like, this is the running down center, which should be like demolished, and suddenly it is a place for joy, happiness, music, fun.
Because these sites have a huge density of historic buildings. If we save 50 sites, we'll be saving 50% of the buildings in the West Bank and Gaza. And our dream is to have these centers alive again. Palestine only has its heritage. It's where our investment should be, and it's where our money will come from in the future.
Riwaq helps people in different ways, but what we are trying to do usually, we struggle or strive to find moments of hope that things can be better. And Riwaq really pinpoint these points of possibility, pinpoints these points of hope.